till mark+josh podcast.
You know, my dad struggled with heroin, so I've seen people in my own family struggle with it. A guy OD'd one summer. There was a handicapped guy who overdosed
at your house.
At my house. I wasn't there that summer, actually, which was great because apparently, like, the feds like kicked in all the doors. Like, I came back from like my mom's like in August to get ready for the school year, and then I just like my dad didn't want to. He was like trying to hide it, but it's like, Dad, how come every lock in the house is like destroyed? Every door like looked like it was kicked in. The wood, you know, there were wooden door hinges. They were all cracked and like looked like someone was chiseling. Like, someone just chiseling in the house, chiseling locks down. So he had to tell me, this dude Jerry, he was a handicapped guy. He was in a wheelchair, and he won a bunch of money. Apparently, he like fell out of the back of a U-Haul, and that's why he's handicapped
in the chair. And
he was rewarded all this money. You know, he was compensated, and he had like a goon, like a dude, like a guy. Like you could tell that he was just like a guy, like some tool that he was friends with in school that just hang around her. Like, bro, I got a bunch of money, but I'm not independent. Obviously, I'm handicapped. I need a wheelchair. So this dude, I shit you not, had a Corvette. He had a Corvette, and the same dude would drive him around in that Corvette. So like the dude, he was handicapped. You know, it's such a baller move.
That's super
It's
baller.
like, fuck it, I'm still gonna get the Corvette. I fell out of the U-Haul, and now I can't drive anymore. But I'll hire a guy to drive.
I got a goon.
I got a goon
for that.
So that happened. I remember thinking it was badass. I was kind of bummed out when he died, and believe it or not, this could still be true. I don't know. I have to go back to my dad's and check. But his wheelchair, after he died, was in our basement for a really long time. Like it became part of the like a fixture in the basement.
That's
it's like there's a dad's gun safe. There's you know.
Did you ever play with it when you were a kid? Get in it and ride around?
Not really. It was weird. It was creepy.
It's haunted.
There's an energy to it. As a kid, you feel like, okay, there's an energy. I don't know if ghosts are real, but there's an energy to things. Something's up. Because it was like eerie. I'd be like, I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. Like, I never made a request to like have him take it out. Because honestly, it's such a good piece of memorabilia. It's like, this dude OD died in our house. Like, at least we can get some kind of memorabilia. You can leave us something. You kicked in all the doors. You kicked in all the locks. It's like, at least you give us some type of memories. Some merchandise, if you will.
Like OJ and his Heisman Trophy.
Exactly.
You got something.
You got something.
Cherish the memories.
You didn't get justice.
I think that was the two victims that didn't get justice.
Well, let's not get into that, because that's a whole thing.
That's a whole thing.
If you want to get into podcasting just for O.J. Simpson, God bless you, because there's a lot of material. Have at it.
Ugh.
So, Mark, what are...
Yeah.
I don't want to ask boring questions about addiction. I want to ask you the real shit.
Ask me ridiculous
What's the
stuff.
most disgraceful things you've ever done to try to get heroin?
So, I mean, stealing, selling stuff. Just like when you don't spend your entire life a shitbag, when you turn into a shitbag, everybody's a sucker because they trust you to like some degree. Because I didn't have this gnarly problem until like later in life, and so you could just take money from kind of anybody. People like leave their purse around, like in public too, like at the office. Like you got a purse, you got money in it, you're away from your desk, that's gone. Like an addict is just seeing opportunities. They're not seeing like
you
right
didn't
or
feel
wrong.
bad about doing those things at the time.
At the time, you feel bad a little bit, but the urge to get like more drugs is bigger. So those feelings are easy to kick away once you get all knotted out and stuff.
So give me some.
Ask me crazy questions.
Give me some specifics of some things. Like for instance, you told me that you were smoking crack with a black guy that you didn't know.
That's racist. There was white guys involved too. How dare you?
Well, you're white. You even the car out.
Oh, there you go.
There's no injustice. Yeah, the guy was black. You're fucking white.
What
point are you trying to prove? It's not a racist thing. He was a random black dude. No offense to you, Mark, but there's not much diversity in your friend list. Okay,
hey, come on now. That's racist.
I don't think you have a black friend. I'm just gonna say there. And if that crackhead, if you can call him, you call on him now, and he is your friend, then good on you.
So is it racist that my closest black friend I've ever had was a coke dealer? I'm conflicted about that.
I know who you're talking. I know exactly who you're talking about.
John, I got
Can't blow up any spots.
I got a 911 on my equipment here.
That's how we roll. But
give me 1 sec.
he was a black dude, and I think the only other thing I can reveal about him is that he played a lot of golf. He played so much golf, he was basically a white guy. Like, honestly, do you remember how much golf this dude played? I was like, dude, I grew up, my grandmother like forced me to play golf because she lived on a golf course, and this was in the summers, right? So I lived like a poor fuck because that's what we were groats. My dad was doing what he had to do to get by. But in the summer, it's weird, right? Because I have a well-to-do grandmother. So I'm going to Atlanta every summer, and from like 6 to, I don't know, 11, 12, and we lived the good life. And then I'd go back and I'd be like, God, everybody sucks. It's because everybody was on drugs. Everybody was a groat. People were coming in and out of the house all the time.
Well, that's the only reason they were there, right?
Yeah.
Like, pretty much.
My grandmother said something that it didn't really break my heart too much, because if it really broke my heart, it would have stayed with me. But apparently I used to beg her not to go back. Like, please don't make me go back.
Are you serious?
Yeah. She's like, I felt really bad for you, but you know what you gonna do?
I'm struggling. I'm so sorry.
John, you're really struggling.
Dude, I'm really struggling here.
We're not going to cut through this. We're going to watch the struggle. Keep the struggle going, because this is hilarious. You are struggling.
I'm putting this down.
You might as well just go handheld at this point. If you want me to respect you, if you want this partnership to continue, I think you just better go handheld, John. I'm pretty honest about that.
And Bobby Lawala.
That took you way too long.
Tell me about it, brother. I just had to live through that. Oh, wow. It's embarrassing. Dude, struggle.
Wow.
I can never make fun of anybody ever again struggling with the microphone. I'm done. That's it. I can't do it. I'm touching it right now. That's how fucking I can't do it.
So yeah,
back to my paralyzing addiction. I don't know, like, you get in fucking awesome situations, not awesome, ridiculous ones you never expect. So I remember I was going up to Hartford, and of course I was, trying to get stuff, and for some reason it's like 3 a.m, way too late to be driving around looking for anything, being a white guy in downtown Hartford. Like, you just stick out, you look like a cop, I don't know, I look whatever.
Wait, so who are you with?
Me, nobody, just myself.
And what time is it?
Like 3 a.m, maybe 2 a.m, super late. And I was going up and down, and I thought I saw somebody who knew something about something, like the body language, like the dude's like, what's up? I'm like, what's up? And I'm like, hey, what do you got? Do you got any D? And he's like, no, man, but I got a boy who's got it. We're gonna go up to his place. I'm like, desperate.
So you're like,
I'm like, yeah, let's try it. So he gets in, and we're going up there, and I'm like, yeah.
And you're not, even though you struggle setting up microphones and doing that sort of thing, I know you, and I've known you for a long time. You're not a stupid guy. You definitely had to have taken into account the fact that this guy could just be conning you, and you're about to get fucking jumped,
destroyed,
and possibly killed.
Possibly. I don't know. He gave off a certain aura that I could trust. Now, maybe that was wrong, but he didn't kill me. He looked like he was hurting about as much as I would, so he had like motivation to not kill me too. Like, I'm the ride to help him out. So
right, it's like he's struggling with addiction and he needs his fix too.
Right, you help me and maybe
chances
I'll help
are you might not have the energy to kill a man when you're really like jonesing on a fix. Eventually you would, because you might
wait
go
till you
mad.
Hit that crack rot, then maybe you'll go to town. But we got up to his place, and I didn't know what he was getting necessarily, but I gave him the money. He goes,
so this is this guy's house?
Not even his. Some dude of a dude, like my boy, my cousin, whatever. Like, this dude's in no relation to this house that he runs into. And of course, some big dude with like a pit bull comes out, and he's like talking to me, like all suspect, like, yo, what's up, man? Like, what you doing? Like, 'cause I just stick out. Like, I just look at a place.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm in some blue juke. Like, excuse me, sir, I need some drugs. And the dude comes out, and so we pull out, and the guy like starts. He breaks open his bag, and it's like brown, like it looked like nicotine, like tobacco leaf or something. And I was like, what is that? And he's like, man, this is angel dust. I was like, he's like, you want to get hit? You want to get high? And so I was like, fuck it, let's do it. So me and this guy were smoking angel dust all through Hartford for like 20 minutes. Just having a great old time.
And then, so you guys are getting high.
Yeah.
There's a kite. Now, what are you guys discussing? What kind of music are you guys discussing? Bon Jovi? Like, what do you remember if there was a particular subject that was going on? You guys were conversing about?
No, he wanted to listen to Tribe Called Quest. And so we just put it on my iPhone and we listened to Tribe Called Quest. He got really into it.
I have no complaints about Tribe Called Quest.
I was super into it. I dropped him off at his place and he just kind of disappeared into the shadows. And
you never heard from the guy again?
Never. No.
What a beautiful... It was maybe the most perfect interaction ever.
It was all positive.
He's just like, what's up, man? I'll take you. We'll get crack. No, angel dust.
He got angel dust, yeah.
Sorry, angel dust. And so he smoked you up, or?
Yeah. And I don't think I smoked a lot. Like I didn't feel super different. I felt a little weird, but it wasn't like we did a whole bunch. So I don't know if you do more, like you get crazy. But
how are you feeling?
Like, I was in a good spot. I had my fix on, and I had this other little thing going.
What is angel dust like? It's euphoric?
Sorta. Yeah, you kind of feel like a little lighter in your chest, or at least I did, and then it sort of got your juices going. I don't know. I didn't feel that different. Like I wasn't Rodney. Rodney.
Did this guy smoke a lot more than you?
Dude, he was hurt. Like he was just like, those crazy bug eyes like you get. Like he smoked a whole bunch, and he was just like, like his eyes got pied out, and he kind of just like.
Wow.
Kind of left.
He's a professional.
Yeah. It smelled weird too. It smelled real chemically. Formaldehyde or some shit.
Let's talk about a guy we know. We won't say his real name, but on the streets he's known as Rotten Tooth, a.k.a. Roddy, a.k.a. the Sheriff of Rottingham. And this guy...
He's a piece of work.
You know what, though? That guy, Rotten, when we were in high school, he was smoking crack in the backseat of his car. Him and another kid that we went to high school with. Yeah. And they asked me if I wanted some, and I was like, no. For some reason, crack...
I think that's the line.
I've tried a lot of drugs. Everybody who was like, try this, try that. I'm not sure. Give me that.
Yeah,
I'll gobble that up. Let me try that. Let me get these different experiences and whatnot. But crack, for some reason, I couldn't... It could just be a racist thing where growing up I've been brainwashed by the media to associate crack with African Americans, and I just don't want to smoke it because I'm scared I'm going to end up like in like Louisiana, like in some
that's an odd place
some like low income bayou town that has like a lot of crime, and Master P, he's there,
he's floating around.
I don't want to be in a scary place, and I associate crack with that. I mean, it's not true. I mean, obviously, I know, I can't tell you too many black people I know that smoke crack, but I can tell you a lot of white people that I know that smoke crack. So there's no like, drugs are not about race. Drugs are delights, and everybody's susceptible to
Everybody
them.
loves them.
But the media machine did a good job making people think that it was just a black thing. But I digress, and I don't want to go down that dark rabbit hole.
John, we're about to go.
So let's not. So let's talk more about Roddy, because I had started Roddy and then I digressed. You saw Roddy basically nearly get beaten up over taking someone's cigarette butts out of a large ashtray. So basically, there's this mill town where we grew up. And there's a factory there, and outside the factory, there are large ashtrays, the kind that you might see at a business, nice big ones.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a dream come true for guys who are struggling to get cigarettes, Guys who we refer to as groats. It's short for like grotesque or gross. You're a fucking groat. You know what I mean? I can't trust you. You're disgusting. You can be compromised very easily. You're not in a good spot. You're a groat. I mean, rotten tooth. A groat is somebody who lets his teeth go rotten, and here's why it's not acceptable is because Rotten had insurance.
He could have fixed it.
He had health insurance at the time. He could have gotten that fixed right away. And a groat is someone that's like, oh, my front teeth are destroyed. I don't care because I got to go do more drugs. That's a groat. Another thing Rotten used to do, he would eat like cake batter. Like Rotten's nutrition.
Cake powder, like the powder, not the batter, just the cake powder, just out of the box. Brownie mix, too.
Brownie mix, and frosting.
Oh.
I watched him smoke an entire pack of cigarettes, one by one in succession. I've never seen anybody do that before, where they literally opened the box, and these were powerful cigarettes. They were Dunhills. Tukes had gotten them for
oh my god,
for his
rectangle
birthday.
Ones,
They're longer. Like one of those things, I'd be like, I couldn't even take through one of those. I've smoked one of those before, and I was just like, dude, I gotta throw this out like a third of the way through. I'm gonna die if I smoke this whole thing.
It's disgusting.
This is too long. This is a stretch limo of cancer. You know what I mean? I can't be doing that. But anyway, I watched Roddy. He opened the pack, and dude, just one by one on his bed, lying on his bed, just smoking. And he's still alive, as far as I know.
I think so.
The fucking human body can endure, man.
Dude, that's how you know. Like, dude, humans can do anything. Look at that kid. Holy shit. He's lived this long.
He must have been so malnourished.
He's a garbage can. He's a human garbage can. The kid would put anything in his mouth.
Rotten Tooth is a guy that, like, if he smiles, there'll be an EPA fine.
Yeah.
Like, even in this day and age, even though they're stripping all the regulations, like, if he smiles in public, someone's getting fined.
This is how disgusting he is, dude. He'll go through the rug carpet of the car to pick out pieces of crack that have fallen off of his lap, and he'll put something in his pipe and smoke it, and it won't be crack. It'll be like, I don't know, dirt. It could be hamburger from a McDonald's meal. He just keeps going. He doesn't care. It could be an old peanut. He just, like, it's disgusting. Anything in that body.
Poor Rotten.
It's impressive.
I think people might give us hate. Like, why are you guys shitting on Rotten so much? And it's because, honestly, number one, you shouldn't care, because if you did care, you would join some type of organization to help people like this. Roddy is just a groat. Like, some people lose their shit, and they're just fucking groats. You're in Eastern Connecticut. There are some, and a groat is not a drug addict. That is not, just to clarify, that is not what makes you a groat. A groat is just honestly somebody they've basically destroyed your trust so many times. It's just like, I can't listen to a word you say. You have no credibility. You will do anything to con somebody so you can get your fix. Yeah. And it's just like, at this point in my life, I don't have time for you. You're a fucking groat. You've decided. I didn't classify you a groat. You classified yourself a groat. You know what I mean? By those actions that you've taken over and over again, to basically lie to somebody over and over and over and over and over, you lose. There's an energy that all humans have, I think, and it's the energy. It's the laws of attraction. In a groat, there's no energy emanating from their bodies. Yeah, it's all they're taking everything. They're just they're like biting on your ankles. You know what I mean? It's like, I gotta fucking get you
and
off.
There's like a uniform too, right? So it's a hoodie, definitely pajamas, or
pajama
like Adidas
pants,
track pants, and flip flops. Yes. Some kind of slipping
flip flops year round.
Whatever. Crocs.
I
works
personally,
too.
I never saw Crocs in the mix.
Oh, you never saw Gilman's Crocs, John?
Wow. So, really? Yeah. They've resorted to Crocs. To me, if you're not handicapped, you have no business wearing Crocs. If I see you in Crocs,
you, like, if you're over 60.
Same with Velcro.
If you're over 60,
it's just like Velcro is. Don't push your luck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Velcro is for the mentally handicapped, the elderly. Like, let's slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
The shoes aren't for you. There's gonna be a shortage one day, and your ass is gonna have a pair, and you're
That's
like,
right.
damn, I shouldn't have these.
You should give them away to charity.
I should give them.
This is a new charity.
I had Velcros. I can't front.
I did too.
I had a Sonic the Hedgehog. I think like when I was like in third grade, I had Sonic the Hedgehog Velcro shoes. I was just like, fucking yeah, I'm so fucking fast.
Dude, the arm too.
Dude, it was awesome.
That's fantastic.
So Rotten Tooth, we're using Rotten Tooth as a way, I think, to explain groats and groathood.
A bigger picture.
The bigger picture, which is that Eastern Connecticut, the economy is so bad. it's a place where the men it's not that they're dumb, they're very intelligent, but they do man work. They do construction. They do auto body. They're mechanics. They get their hands dirty, and they're guys who they put their bodies through a lot, and as a result, they need to medicate themselves.
That's because they're always tired and sore and achy.
Absolutely. And drugs like pills and obviously heroin, those are things that really help you. They really bring down the pain.
They help you. Well, they can, right? I mean, that's the thing, is you get stuck in it because it becomes like, it elevates your mood. So if you're kind of depressed for a short period of time there, you'll be a little happier, a little more elated. And then you can it becomes a crutch, and then you depend on it, and then before you know, because of the physical addiction and like the mental beat down that you get, it just becomes that vicious cycle of like, I'm doing it because I'm depressed, and I'm depressed because I'm doing it, and then you hit the bottom.
Yeah, another thing that I thought about is another reason why I wasn't shocked that you were addicted, that when I found out that things were bad for you, is because you had introduced me to a pain pill for the very first time. I think I was 21, 22. I say 22 years old. I drank a lot and partied a lot in high school. Like I did. We partied hard and we partied a lot. But I never smoked marijuana. I never did hard drugs. I boozed a little harder than I should have, but for some reason, because of my upbringing and seeing some of the despair that those drugs can bring on, I didn't want to do any of that stuff. But then as I got older, everybody started to do it around me, and I'm like, well, this is maybe normal behavior. You start to think like, oh, it's normal. People in high school were just snorting lines and doing heroin. It's fucking normal. Is that a little young? No, it's not a little young. It's because everybody's parents were doing it. Like, everybody's parents were selling it. Like, the economy is just, at least where I'm from in Southeastern Connecticut, the economy is sustained through drug money. It's a little dark secret that nobody wants to talk about in America. But, because, let's say you want to have a house and you want to have a proper family, a kid or two kids, and then you also want to have a decent vehicle, a little bit of land, nice pet, a boat eventually, and you want to have a little more than just the basics. It's very difficult in the economy that I'm from to be able to have those things unless you're getting income from other ways.
Right.
Off the book, not taxed. Basically selling drugs. Growing up to this point, it's the most profitable thing I've ever witnessed. It never failed anybody. Yeah. I mean, the risk is obviously that you lose your freedom, but the reward is just so damn high. You know what I mean? And nobody's making enough. And it's not even that people are like kingpins. It's not like people are Pablo Escobar. It's just that they're maybe making an extra $10,000 to $30,000 a year pushing. They're not huge. They're just slanging. You know what I mean? They're not these huge pushers, right? Yeah, but it goes a long way to supplement your income with that little bit of extra money that your job's not paying you, because you're getting taxed so hard because your hourly earnings aren't what they should be. Like my dad, he was doing construction and he was making good money, but it still wasn't enough. After taxes, I'd look at the checks and be like, they're nice checks, but they can't sustain the way that we've been living with like good meals and some luxuries. And they teach you, growing up, they indoctrinate you into this country into thinking that that you need to have those things. That it's just like, fuck, this is the point. Not only that you need them, but like this is the point of life, right? Like for a lot of people, it's like, I don't understand the whole war on drugs thing. Is just, it's such a crock of shit, because it's like you indoctrinated us into this capitalistic system that was just like, you fucking get yours, get the boat, get the fucking car. If you're not, you're a piece of shit. You're a loser. What are you, a fucking loser? You'll do whatever it fucking takes. Fucking yeah.
Well, it's ridiculous.
And then people do. It's like, okay, do whatever it takes to have this life and make money, because that's what we're beat over the head with. It's like, oh, now somebody's selling something that you don't want them to sell. It's like, well, fuck you. They're going to take those risks because you put in their head that earning currency is the most noble, most valuable thing, the most important thing, the only thing that there is. And so many people bought into that.
Yeah.
And you can be like, oh, fucking, they should know better and meditate and ponder the ways of life. It's like, nah, dude, not everybody is going to be able to take a step back and look at things like that. And honestly, you know, having things growing up was a hell of a lot better than not. I'm glad that he was doing what he had to do.
Yeah.
Because without the guy, we'd be fucked.
Well, like it matters. Johnny Pharma's doing the same shit with just on the other side of the law. Fuck you. It is no different. You're making money off of the same idea, same shit.
Same shit. And that's the real reason why there was a war on drugs.
Yeah.
Because corporations wanted to make the money and they didn't want you to make the money. There's no market if you were fucking making the money. It's a beautiful thing. I'm kidding. It's not.
No,
it's a disgusting thing.
It kills itself slowly.
It's killing itself now. But seeing, you know, dude, everybody, the drug culture, I don't know, man. It's when you grow up with around drugs all the time and everybody's doing drugs, it becomes normalized. That it becomes, I think, very difficult. I was able to recognize it through my upbringing, which I know not everybody that I know had that upbringing where their parent or somebody they knew was doing it. So they didn't see people's downward spirals like I did. But I did, and I had to distance myself from all those people. Yeah. Because basically, like 90% of the guys I went to high school with, they graduated and became groats.
All the ones that I know that you know did.
I don't think we went back to the cigarette butt in the ashtray. I don't want to forget
John, that was like 15 minutes ago.
It was 15 minutes ago. I missed that one. I totally lost that one. I got off the rails on a crazy train on that.
Let's keep going. Wow. No, I was on it.
I think that we might be even with your microphone. Your microphone.
Did that just come to you, John? That might as well be in fucking 1845. That's so long ago. God. John, it's so old.
I'm just riding this train.
There's a Wikipedia page dedicated to that, John. That's how old that is.
John, I just want to ride these chemtrails all the way to happiness, and we're having a good conversation. I didn't want to bring up the ashtray because I felt like we were, you know, moving into uncharted territory. But back to the ashtray.
Well, here's where you're wrong. Here's a rookie mistake. You're going for the ashtray. The real treasures are on the ground because nobody thinks to look on the ground. Everyone's going for the ashtray, but people flick their cigarettes just onto the, you know, parking lot.
So have you actually scouted for?
I've gone with them. It's like a treasure trunk with a treasure trunk.
It's like a treasure trunk.
It's like a treasure trunk.
A treasure trunk, basically.
It's like a treasure hunt.
So you've been with them when they. So what do they say to themselves? Right? They say, "I'm broke.
Going to the mill.
I'm broke. I want to smoke a cigarette. Let's go to the factory. Let's go dig around the ashtrays and see if we can find cigarette butts with a little meat on them so we can smoke them." So they were finding cigarettes that people threw out.
Yep.
And they were smoking the butts.
Smoking the butts. Doesn't matter if it had like lipstick on it or whose lips were touching it. If there's something there, they'll take it.
So how much did they find? Like what was acceptable? Like what was a keeper?
Like
how much meat did one of these things have to have on it?
If it had like a quarter of an inch like tobacco in it still, it was good to go.
So you could probably find
you might be able to find pockets full, and they would, you know, then they'd sort them by like, oh, these are like menthol or Camels or whatever, Marblights.
Wait, so they'd go up there and collect like like handfuls, and then they'd sort them out.
Ziploc bag. Not like full all the way, but like enough where you couldn't really hold it in a hand.
So they would get some real treasure for themselves.
Oh, it totally supplements your smoking. The weekends were hard because people had the weekends off. They weren't as busy, so the pickings were slim.
So it could be a long weekend then, basically for them at the time. I don't know if it still is. I hope they're not still picking through.
Well, of course they are.
But it's got to be slim pickings nowadays.
I mean, I didn't know there were pickings to really be had before. So I think it's just what you do.
I feel like in this economy, it's come on, white trash.
This is the DIY.
Stop fucking. It happened again. I think there's a ghost playing games with you. I think it's the ghost of Vinny Pazienza.
I think it's the ghost of the dude with the wheelchair from your dad. He's pissed off, dude.
He's mad, dude. It's man, the ghost of the guy, Jerry. Jerry, if you're the one screwing around with Mark's mic right now, I just want to tell you, buddy, I didn't disrespect you in any way, and I think it was rather awesome that you had a Corvette. It always stood out to me that you had a goon that would drive the car for you, and I have to tell you that I respect a lot of your moves, and I wish you hadn't died in the living room, and I wish we didn't have to look at your wheelchair in the basement for decades on end. But other than that, you're a pretty sweet dude. You owe us money for all the door locks being smashed. Because doors were kicked in, and I know Craze wasn't too happy about that. He was not happy about the doors getting new locks.
That's expensive.
I was excited when I got new locks because, some locks, growing up as a kid, like there's some door locks where it's like if I'm masturbating right now and somebody like charges in here, they might be able to get it. They might be able to rattle it open,
like a jarring open.
Yeah,
like I'm coming in.
But after that incident, we had door locks in the house where it's like, dude, nobody's coming in. You could throw on the Spice Channel wherever you are, and you
super loud.
Super loud. You could wear headphones and take all your clothes off. You could do anything you wanted to, basically, and you were good to go if the door was locked. So, Jerry, I love you for that, brother.
R.I.P.
Jerry had to die so I could masturbate in peace. Jerry, you will not be forgotten. You will not be forgotten, Jerry.
Dude, MVP. Fucking, he hooked you up.
Next time I see my dad and you're with me, mention that to him. Say, hey, what's up with the dude who in the wheelchair who died that summer?
Do you want me to mention that you're happy that you got better locks so you can masturbate?
Don't let him know that I was masturbating like a madman after his death. That's not very respectful. If you look at Jerry's death and you look at the increase in my masturbation frequency,
just
dude,
skyrocket,
spiked
through the roof.
Jerry, it's so strange. Life is ridiculous. These chain reactions.
I love it.
Dies, doors get kicked in, we get better door locks. It's just a weird.
And you masturbate.
I'm masturbating
6 times a day.
6 times a day. I don't know, I thought about that. I'm like, do I want to let the world know that? Well, the world already knows.
Who cares?
I
can just say it.
Who cares? I was a young boy. That was a young boy, and internet was in its infancy. It's not like now. People were their nutsacks were gurgling when I grew up.
Do you remember finding random porn in the woods? Like you'd find a hustler.
Oh,
what the fuck was up with that?
Dude, growing up, everybody had like a shed, like out in the back of the woods with like a bunch of dirty mags, and it's just like, yeah.
Guys, get up in the
That's how desperate we were for pornography. That's why we were so fucking weird, and we all, at least from my experience, we were always just fucking
hypersexual about shit, dude. Like brimming.
They say kids are worse now, but I don't know if anything's ever changed. I think we've all been horny little fucking.
We're just toads. We're filled with cum. It's ridiculous. It's
not even my fault. I wish that I didn't have to do this. You think I want to do this? You think I want to have to lock my door and fucking be in shame if I get caught?
Is there any other part of your body that you will rub all day until it's beet red, other than your dick?
No, I don't think so. I don't. I was thinking about my toes. I was thinking like my finger. No, really, no. I don't want anything red except for my dick. It's weird. This conversation, it really went into some dirty territory. Speaking of dirty territory, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor today, Folgers. The best part of waking up
is Folgers in your cup.
And we actually shot a little commercial that we did for them, some sponsored content. This is our Folgers spot right here. Take a peek-sees. Folgers, what a delicious Folgers coffee. People who talk about coffee that have been all around the world, like I know guys that have been all around the world, like they've literally traveled everywhere to drink the best coffees.
Italy,
and they say France, that the instant Folgers coffee,
number one,
still number one. It beats out any like altitude, like all these crazy altitude grown coffees, garbage compared to Folgers, because the best part of waking up
is that strong, bitter taste of Folgers. It's a real wakes you up.
It's a real taste where you're like, I'm gonna need a gallon of milk in this if I'm gonna be able to consume it.
And even then, it'll taste awful. But that's the best part of waking up.
Well, hang on though.
Not awful, not a bad way.
You know what? Okay. We just did it. We just came up with the perfect ad for Folgers. It's awful, But growing up, I mean, the
But
next
in a
thing you're
good way.
probably doing, you're probably going to your shitty job that doesn't pay enough. 'Cause
Exactly.
You're, at least
Exactly.
speaking in America. So it's awful coffee. It hardens you for the day. You're like, oh, this was disgusting. But so is the structures of American society. It's all downhill after this.
It's not a lie.
Actually not all downhill. It's actually a blessing.
The best part is
It's
the
like
Folgers.
molesting your taste buds early in the morning.
Exactly, and then all
And
the way
then
down.
anybody gropes you throughout the day, you can handle it.
Folgers. How much worse could it get?
Well, you can't change the classic. It's still the best part of waking up. But we could talk to somebody. We could talk to one of the heads, one of the CEOs of Folgers Inc. Folgers.org.uk.gov. If you go to Folgers.gov right now and you type in Billy Baja, you can. Wait, is it Billy Baja or is it the name? What's the code that they have to put in? Billy Baja. I thought somebody said Billy Baja, but it would make sense that it would just be one of our names. Why was it Billy Baja? Do you have any idea? I was told Billy Baja by the.
So I never told you that was actually my legal given name is Billy Baja. They had to go by what was on my birth certificate.
Really? They gave you, man.
John, my father was Baja, the guy who invented Baja Blast. I was named after Baja Blast, Billy Baja. I keep saying
Dude, what an honor, man. Baja Blast is a fucking soda.
It's a real treat.
God, when Baja Blast first came out, I was like about it for like a week. Did I tell you that I ate McDonald's? Like when I first moved to New York City, I ate McDonald's like every day for like weeks. And I thought that there was like an alien. And by the end of it, dude, I felt weird. I'm like, I have an alien. This is Alien 3, dude.
There could have been an alien up that. Oh, dude, like 2 days in a row at McDonald's is bad enough.
Yeah, I was just like, it wasn't even that cheap either. It was just, there was like a McDonald's nearby and it was just like super easy. Like I wanted convenience because, you know, in Brooklyn, fucking,
Dude,
you've seen the slim pickings in that neighborhood. Well, not Brooklyn in general, but I was in Crown Heights.
Where I stayed after a while,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. There's like
so I'm there with the Hasidic Jews that are basically spitting at me when I walk down the road because they know I'm not Jewish. Not only am I not Jewish, but I've heard things like they're coming.
Oh my God.
When they've seen me walking
Seriously?
by, yeah, stuff like that.
I don't say about that because I want to have a job in the entertainment business. But
don't talk bad about the Jews. But if you do, the Hasidics are probably, you might be able to get away with throwing a couple stones at the Hasidic Jews. I like the Hasidic Jews because I've met some cool ones, and they're not all. They're just like anybody. They're not all dickheads, but there are some that they really don't like me because of my skin, and that's fine. I don't like me because of my skin. I wish I was a 7'2" black man with a fucking 9'9" wingspan, but that is just simply not the reality that we live in, unfortunately. So I'm sorry, I didn't get what I wanted. So I feel you. Hasidic Jews, you don't like me. You don't like me because you think that Hitler would have kept me alive, but you're wrong. He probably still would have put me down.
Thanks to our sponsors, Folgers Crystals, for this.
Folgers Crystals were used. I think that they. How long have Folgers Crystals been being used? Were they used in World War II? Was Hitler being fueled by Folgers? Good enough to fuel Folgers coffee. Good enough to fuel Hitler. Good enough to fuel you. Feel the burn.
Holy shit, John! We're gonna lose all our funding.
Are we gonna lose
National
our sponsor?
from National Public Radio?
Oh shit! National Public Radio. Terry Gross just pulled out her $160 that they gave us.
She's so pissed at you right now.
Terry Gross. All right, so I think that did I plug Folgers hard enough? Do you think that we can move on from the Folgers plug? I just know.
I think so.
I know who's writing the checks, and it's Folgers Crystals, the actual crystals,
like spiritual crystals. Are there?
Do you think that?
Is that what?
I don't want to go down the road of spiritual crystals. This went from smoking angel dust to now we're talking about the healing power of the crystal.
Of Folgers crystals. You look ridiculous drinking this bottle. It's like 1840 and
you know what this is? You know what's inside this?
What is it?
Folgers. I'm drinking a nice warm cup bottle. A nice warm bottle of Folgers crystals. It's so good. I would drink this even if nobody was giving me money. And I tell you that organic coffees are disgusting. And don't listen to what you've heard about the government. Folgers coffee doesn't have any weird chemicals in it. It doesn't have any GMOs. Folgers, listen, if you're worried about health, don't worry about Folgers crystals, because test after test, study after study suggests that Folgers crystals is the safest fluid in the world to drink.
Safer than water.
Safer than water.
It's
Folgers crystals, safer than water. It's a fact. Now go to the supermarket and get yourself some Folgers crystals, some instant coffee. Instant coffee, it gets a bad rap, but it's really the best coffee in the world.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Put your fucking hands down, because instant coffee is the best coffee, hands down. I wanted to have another sip,
because
and then
it's so good.
you segue us to another topic. I'm going to take a nice long sip of these Folgers crystals. They're going to melt in my mouth.
How's that cup?
Ooh, it's difficult to swallow right now. But I'll tell you what, it's still some of the best coffee I've ever had. It burns your mouth.
But in a good way.
But in such a good freaking way. Folgers crystals, the Papa John's of coffee. But we mean that in the best way possible.
But it includes the racism that
It
Papa
includes
John's
absolute racism.
Okay.
Folgers crystals. Folgers are such a racist coffee. Have you heard what they said about the NAACP? I'm not even going to go into it. I don't even want to go there. But Folgers, it's a pretty racist coffee.
The official coffee of the alt-right?
Official coffee of the alt-right and the Jamaican bobsled team as well. So
That's a diverse PR department that Folgers has. Anyways, here's the topic I figured we can get into. I figure we're talking about drugs. Let's talk about... Well, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the drugs that got me off of heroin. Which was acid.
Acid. Acid is an interesting thing.
The mother's milk of hallucinogens. You want to get into it, John?
I'm going to give a shout out to our sponsor right now, Folgers. Folgers Crystals. If you call 1-800-BILLY-BAHA, you will receive a free lifetime supply of Folgers Crystals coffee. I repeat. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Don't judge me.
Don't judge it.
Don't judge me. I'm not the guy who takes 10 minutes to set up his microphone. So would they evenly distribute these cigarettes that they found in these ashtrays? So like when they would go scavenging for cigarette butts.
Like, where was the hot spots?
Was it just who found what got to keep it, or did people split it?
No,
if you found it, you kept it, or did everybody... was there a socialistic type of little scheme to this where at the end of the little scavenge, everybody throws their cigarettes down?
No, it's a completely selfish... And
so you're just grabbing and putting it in your pocket.
And it was mainly just Gilman who would do it. And if you butted into his territory...
So you said that he actually like threatened people over this? Like, so he got like Rotten Tooth like
no, we were up
poach?
We were in his room.
Call it poaching?
Right, we were in his room and he looks out the window and sees like going up the hill to the mill. And
I don't
he's
think you should use his real name.
I'm sorry, Rotten.
Sheriff of Rottingham.
The Sheriff of Rottingham was going up the hill and he's just like, that motherfucker! And he runs downstairs, and I watch this from the window. Runs downstairs, runs out to Roddy, and he's just like, you know, really aggressive, like, what are you doing, man? It's fucking mine! Like, so pissed off.
So there was a fight that was about to break out over Roddy poaching cigarette butts from the ashtrays.
Yeah.
Did that moment stand out for you? Like, holy shit, who are these people that I'm spending my time with? Because you wouldn't spend your time. You were spending your time with people like that all the time because of your addiction. But if you weren't addicted, you wouldn't be spending time with these fucking clowns.
No, and at the time, it's ridiculous. You recognize how fucked up the situation is, that you're watching it happen. But, I mean, it was entertaining. They're fighting over cigarette butts. That's ridiculous. You know how funny that is?
It is pretty funny.
Just watching these two guys get heated over camel butts. Oh.
Must have been nice though when they found a nice long one.
Oh yeah.
It must have been like pure. It must have been like shooting like a, I don't know, like hunting stuff. Like his craze was into hunting, but like he would shoot like a 10-pointer or something.
Yeah.
That has to be like what, like a nice long one. That's like the 10, 12-pointer.
Yep.
It's like shooting a big moose. You find that one.
It reminded me of like Easter egg hunts. Like they'd come back with this bag of like, I got Easter eggs. Ooh, it's just
that kind of excitement, huh? So they just would smoke for free. They would smoke from the land.
Well, eventually they would like run out, and then they start stealing shit from each other. Like somebody would get a pack, or they'd get like those, what are those called? Buglers, the ones that you roll yourself. They get those, bugle, whatever it is.
That was it, huh?
It was a whole people. Now it goes from like stealing cigarettes to now you're taking my papers and tobacco. Like it's just thieving on every level. It's like who took my toilet paper, toothpaste, like anything that could be taken.
It's a groat life.
Yeah. It's kind of impressive. It's like I'm gonna fuck you and you're gonna fuck me over, but that's okay. That's how. It's like a super honest way of living where it's just like everybody out for themselves.
When you drive into Southeastern Connecticut, there should just be a big sign that says "Welcome to Groatsville," because that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a lot of groats.
Yeah.
There are not many well-paying jobs here, and basically, it creates a lot of groats. A lot of people get lost in this rat race out here because there's not much opportunity. So the idea of becoming a groat for some is like, fuck it. Society's already kind of fucked me. I realize I'm not going to have a Ferrari and all these things that I saw in the rat videos that I grew up watching. You know what I mean? You're not going to have all these luxuries. All these luxuries that this society sold to you. You watch MTV every day. Like, I'm going to grow up and have a Bentley. It's like, no, you're not.
You're not even going to see a Bentley.
You're not even going to see a Bentley. Yeah. You're not even going to see your mother for months on end, not because she's dead, but because you're an awful human being. You don't care about anyone. You don't care about anything. So I think we're going to wrap this one up because I think that it's close to the 30-minute mark, and I want to wrap it up by giving a shout out to Jerry, who
R.I.P. Jerry.
R.I.P. Jerry.
Hope you're in heaven.
Hope you got really high when you OD'd in my house, and I hope you didn't think about too much. I hope you didn't think about the red Corvette that you were losing. So you knew, like, fucking, he's getting taken from this reality, and he's like, I just got the Corvette. Like, I wanted the Corvette. You had the Corvette for a little bit, Jerry.
Maybe in heaven they gave him, like, a Corvette-shaped wheelchair to get around in.
You don't think very highly of heaven.
I guess why would you have
they do, well, I hope they can do, if heaven exists, I hope they can do a little better than that, Mark. Jeez.
That'd be the worst.
That'd be the worst. You can't even offer me a real Corvette. Just here's a Corvette-shaped wheelchair.
Like, why would you have a wheelchair in heaven? It's like, Jesus.
I should be able to walk. Well, yeah, exactly. I didn't even think about that. You're right. He should be able to walk. You're right. Yeah, I was thinking just at least give him another, like a nicer Corvette.
Like a real Corvette.
Because he didn't have like a new one. Even at the time, it was like late 90s, 96, 97. I don't think his was. He didn't see what was coming down the pipe.
Oh man, that 2018 Stingray.
Because there's some Corvettes were kind of pieces of shit for a while, and now there's some Corvettes, the high end ones,
looks real nice.
That are real nice. Want to give a shout out to Corvette, the official sponsor of Folgers Crystals Coffee. And with that being said, I want to give a shout out to Wu-Tang Clan. I want to give a shout out to the Old Dirty Bastard, R.I.P. I want to give a shout out to
the RZA, the
Jizza. I think I said Wu-Tang. I think that's sort of
I guess right
encompasses all of them. I want to give a shout out to Compasses. Shout out to the dude who invented the compass. I'm not sure his name.
Jonathan Compass.
Jonathan Compass.
Yep.
R.I.P. You did a lot for the pirates. You found a lot. Your shit found a lot of gold, among other things. So R.I.P. to Johnny Compass. John Compass. Jonathan Compass.
I believe it's Jonathan Compass, but we'd know him as
Jonathan Compass. Compass Batch. I'm just losing my mind right now because I just drank that Folgers coffee. I think it was laced with something. I think it was laced with deliciousness. I'm going to take one more sip of this Folgers coffee because Folgers coffee So fucking good. I love instant coffee. Are you kidding
So
me? I
good.
drank instant coffee. I've been drinking it my whole life.
Oh, how is that?
Oh, man.
You feel a gurgle in the tummy yet?
Oh.
That's how you know it's working.
Folgers is basically instant diarrhea.
In a good way.
In such a positive way.
Lose weight.
You lose weight.
Tone
You clean yourself out. You mix some kombucha with your Folgers, and you get a real health aid.
Now you got a Pat's fucking party over here.
You smuggle it into the Patriots game, and you get loose.
Get real loose.
Folgers Crystals coffee. That's about it. I think I served up my Folgers.
We got that check.
We definitely got the Folgers check. Good.
Yeah, we earned that check.
Folgers usually sends us travelers checks. We're not really
second
sure.
party travelers checks.
Third party travelers checks. All right, Marco.
Thank you, Josh. This was a good time.
This was a good time. I'm glad that you've cleaned your act up. You're no longer with Groats.
I feel good. It feels good not to
You feel
be.
better?
It's like asking me, do you not want to chop your dick off? Does that feel better when you don't chop your dick off? That made
Mark?
no sense. That made way more sense in my head before it was coming out. Basically, it feels great. Better than I ever thought it could be.
Everyone's going to forgive you. After all, it did take you 10 minutes to fiddle with that microphone setup. People are like, I don't expect much from this guy after that point. It's
On my
basically-
deathbed, I'm not going to feel bad about my heroin use. I am going to feel bad about this whole microphone thing now. I'm going to be thinking about it and being like, Jesus, what an idiot.
All right, everybody.
We love you.
We love you. Good night.